Cher here. Firstly, if my voice sounds a little strange throughout the video today, I'm sorry about that. I've been recovering from something. I have no idea what, but whatever it is, it's not the bad. I wanted to do this tiny video for a while, and at first I wanted to do basically a spring cleaning of my bookshelf, but then I thought that might be a little too boring because I would not get to the point of which books I would actually be getting rid of. And I do a lot of spring cleaning of my bookshelf already because there's a ton of books that I get from giveaways, or I would find them at my nearest Goodwill or those antique bookshops that each book costs like $1. And if I don't like it, I would immediately put it in my donation bag anyway, and I would take it to the library. They have I would call it like a store where they sell books that they can't put on their library shelves. So that's where I take those books that I don't want to. And while I was cleaning out the bookshelf today, I did find 3 books that I was just like, do I really want these? Maybe nah. And I thought I would show them to you and give my reasons why. The first book is actually pretty obvious why I want to get rid of it. Yeah, if you see the name on this already, you can clearly tell. I almost completely forgot where the heck I actually got this from because I know it was not from any Barnes & Noble or like airport bookstore or anywhere, because I had originally no intentions of buying it for the original price that it was. But then I remembered, oh yeah, I was in my senior year of college, and for past Christmas up to past New Year's, a couple of classmates and I spent a week in London, and there were a ton of like antique bookstores in London that I really wanted to buy books from because, hey, you can't find them anywhere else. So there was this book. I don't know if you could see it here, but it's kind of like damaged and scratched from the front. So that's why this book was cheaper than it normally would be at like, what, I don't know, it was like 25 something dollars. But this book actually costs me, if I can find it, yeah, it was written in here, £5. I don't know if you could see that, but yeah, this book cost me £5, which if I convert that to US dollar, I think that's like $6.25, which, hey, for something like this, it's a steal. I mean, it wasn't signed or anything, but I wasn't asking for that. Yeah, I bought this book way before the TERF controversies happened. And this was back when I actually liked the first Fantastic Beasts movie. I thought it was pretty decent for what it was, but I am pretty much over the Harry Potter series now, and I have literally no other reason to keep this original screenplay of the movie anyway, since it wasn't even in book form. It's literally just the script to the movie. I guess if people wanted to add it to their J.K. Rowling collection, that's fine, but nowadays I don't if you're like over 12 years old, I don't know why you would want to keep something with J.K. Rowling's name on it. So yeah, this book is definitely going to be gone. It'll probably cost less even in that little shop that the library does that I'm talking about because it is partially damaged. But even then, I'm just like, meh, who cares? Next was a book that I actually found at a Goodwill, and it's not even a book, it's actually a script for, like, you know, plays and stuff. And that's The Miracle Worker by William Gibson. And for those of you who are not in the know of, like, plays and stuff, The Miracle Worker is actually about Helen Keller and her mentor, what's her name again? Annie Sullivan. Yeah, I was like, her name was off the top of my head, but I completely forgot. But yeah, this was written in, when was this written again? Or at least this copy was. I mean, of course these plays get reprinted like on and on forever. But I think I know this was like in the 50s, 60s, because I believe this became a movie like around that same time period. Yeah, I think this is the 1960 copy. I mean, as you can see, it is pretty old, and for a typical, like, script in a tiny book form like this was how they usually looked. I don't know why, after reading this, that I wanted to keep it. The play itself was okay. I mean, you could definitely tell it was written for the time that it was written for, and you could tell, and basically for the Broadway years or like movie era this was written for, because there are some very like questionable things that goes on in this play. I mean, yes, it's about Helen Keller and Annie Sullivan and their relationship, to how Helen Keller is able to adapt to being both blind and deaf, as we all know. But there's also a lot of like others goings on. I don't like some side elements that they're not the main plot, but they kind of rub me off the wrong way. And some of the story also kind of rubs me off the wrong way. I think I kept this because if I'm going to be, or if I ever wanted to like audition for a play that's local to where I was living, I thought maybe I had more in my register or something like that. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking maybe I'll keep this, because if I wanted to do some Annie Sullivan monologues for auditions, that's probably what I'd do. But even then, this whole script is more so like stage movement than it is dialogue. And I don't know if that was, I think that was originally how it was written. Like, this is so like stage movement heavy that I was like, is there like any dialogue plot to this play? Like, I was kind of bored reading this. And I mean, I'm a person who loves to research like important people in history. I think Helen Keller is one of the most important like study cases in a very long time, especially in the 20th century. Or maybe it was 19th century. Yeah, it was 19 to 20. I think it was like the start of the 20th century when she died. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. I'm not going to like make this harder on myself. But I don't know, maybe I'll keep this or maybe I'll get rid of it, because I don't know. If I wanted to find good monologues, I'll always find some on the internet somewhere. So otherwise, I don't think I have a purpose for keeping this much longer. It was like 50 cents at Goodwill, so I'm not gonna cry a river over it. And lastly is a book that I actually won via a Goodreads giveaway, and that's The Water Dancer by, how do you spell his name, or pronounce his name? Ta-Nehisi Coates? I think that's how you pronounce it. I am so sorry that I pronounced that wrong, and I did not want to, because he is an important writer. I've read his work before, and I think Coates is fantastic. However, this book was a little more difficult to decipher than, of course, the other two that I just showed you. Again, this is a ARC version of the book. So technically it's not the completed version, and I have not picked up the completed version because usually they're kind of the same anyway. This is a, I think a magical realism, historical fiction that takes place in like the height of American slavery, I want to believe. Honestly, if I wanted to tell you what I remember about this book, I don't really remember much. I think it was about, I do remember it's about this boy, I think, who is like grieving or had witnessed his mother's death, and all of a sudden, like, he gains this power of, I don't remember if it's like dreams of where he's in water, or whenever he is in water, he has like visions of some kind. Like, the book kind of makes it very difficult to understand like what his power is. And I really wanted to like this book, for some reason, something did not click with me as I was reading it. Like, I wanted to like the main character, but he barely gave like me any sort of interests or like, I don't know, personality that wanted me to root for him. It's just more so the fact that, oh, he's I mean, of course, like, slavery's bad. Like, don't get me wrong. It's like, basically, this book is like, oh, you should feel bad for him because he's a slave, to which I do. I mean, of course, like I said, slavery is wrong. Like, it was always wrong, and we should not praise it in any way, shape, or form. Something, I don't know, something about that sounds like fishing, like, I don't know, pity fishing to me. And I don't want to accuse Coates of that, because obviously I don't think that was what he was trying to do. But I even, like, read reviews from other readers who's read this book too, and they were also kind of disappointed with how this book turned out, because it's either they don't get it, or they felt like something was missing. And yeah, I'm in the camp of I think something was missing. And maybe it was because I read the ARC copy that I thought something was missing, and maybe if I borrowed like a final published copy, like from the library somewhere, maybe I would got it. But personally, I don't think anything would change that much, even if I did borrow something like that from the library. I felt like I kept this for so long because, oh, it's Coates. Maybe I'll read it sometime in the future, and maybe I don't know, get back into it. But I felt like now I'm pitying a writer who doesn't want to be pitied in a way. So I'm going to basically let it go and say, yeah, it was a fun ride, but not a ride that I want to ride again, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm really sorry, but yeah, The Water Dancer, it's gotta go. And that's pretty much all the books that I have in my arsenal, at least physical copies. I mean, there's, of course, I have my Kindle here that I could probably go over stuff, but that would take a very long time, and I don't know. Usually, if I don't like a book straight from the get-go from my Kindle, I would just remove it from the library anyway. And a lot of them are either free books or like books that I read or won in giveaways too. So yeah, right away I would usually get rid of it. But of course, I think that's a different video for a different day if I'm up to it. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys liked what you saw, please hit the like button down below. Please hit me up in the comments with any questions or comments that you have. And if you guys haven't done so already, there's the sub button, there's the bell, and I have my socials down below for you guys to follow me at. I'm Cait, Cher, and it's been real. Ciao!